Okay. So a few years ago, I got this bike used. It's a GT cyclocross bike. Anybody ride cyclocross bikes? Cyclocross? Just the hippies. A cyclocross bike is fun. It's like a bastardization of a mountain bike and a road bike. Anybody ride road bikes? Okay, close. Mountain bikes? Next does. Yes, mountain bike. So mountain bikes, trail bikes, generally speaking, have lower gear ratios than a road bike. Road bikes, because the road is smooth, generally speaking, they generally have really, really, really big front rings and pretty small back rings. Mountain bikes kind of go the other way, where you've got relatively small front rings and you've got a wide range of rings in the back. And the reason for that, mathematically, is you get a lower gear ratio on mountain bikes, so you can spin more and apply less torque to your legs and climb up and over hills easier. Because generally speaking, when you're mountain biking, you're going up and over things that the ground's rough and you're hopping over boulders and things like that. So you want to be able to go really, really fast without a lot of torque. A lot of torque is your enemy, because you can spin your back wheel out and then you fall and stuff like that if you're moving. So road bikes, generally speaking, you're not worried about that kind of stuff. You're just going in one direction, slight turns every once in a while. Cyclocross bikes are used to race the... Has anybody been to a cyclocross race before? I highly encourage those. Those are ridiculously fun. They're probably the most fun kinds of bike races you can go to. Generally speaking, everybody's inebriated, which makes it even more fun, including the racers sometimes. And they're muddy. They have sections where they force the bikers to get off of their bikes and carry them up and down things. They wear costumes. It's fun. It's a super fun thing. Usually speaking, too, the Nationals were in Bend a couple years ago. They were ridiculously fun. The courses are super short, and the racers do laps, so you get to see people with these crazy muddy crashes. They're covered in weather like this is like their favorite weather, because they just get destroyed. But anyway, cyclocross bikes are designed to be ridden off-road, kind of. Not like a mountain bike where you're bombing down big, huge chutes of rocks and stuff, but generally dirt roads, gravel roads, some trails for sure. Phil's trail's great. The gearing is somewhere between a mountain bike and a road bike. It's a little bit higher than a mountain bike, a little bit lower than a road bike. It's shaped like a road bike. It's actually shaped like this is the classic 700C wheel size that road bikes have. So it's kind of a bastardization. I got one for commuting. My road bike was getting trashed commuting, especially in weather like this. It was just getting destroyed. The drivetrain, but I was cleaning the drivetrain every week. It was just a mess. And the mountain bike's just too much of a pain in the ass to slip up the hill. It's easier to ride a road bike up the hills, because I mean, going from my house to here, it's 700 vertical feet of climb over 6 miles. It's just, I get tired of hauling big knobby tires up that. So road bike style makes more sense. With the weather we get, this made the most sense. Cool so far?
So that one's a cycle?
Cyclocross. It's just the style. Generally speaking, it looks like a road bike. It rides more like a mountain bike. Very nimble. They're fun. They're fun bikes. They're fun bikes. Okay, so that's that. When I bought it, it came with these, it's kind of hard to see these brakes right here. They're called Cantilever Brakes. Now, if you're old like me, these were the standard brakes on mountain bikes back in the late 80s, early 90s. So I'll show you pictures. Here. This is a set of cantilever brakes. So what happens is you pull the brake lever. That wire goes up. These wires get pulled in. These ends go up. Those go in that way. They pivot on these bolts right here. There's a lot of freaking crap going on with cantilever brakes. A lot of movement. So they came with that. So you can kind of see them right there. So the first thing I did when I got the cross bike, I brought it to work the first couple days, and I decided to test it out. So I decided to ride home a different way than I usually go. So from up here, it's actually kind of fun. From Grandview Hall, I would go up behind Juniper Hall. There's a little, I wouldn't call it a trail. It's like a washout where the rain washes down. Ride up there, which is super fun. Get to Glassow Street, then take Summit Drive, down, over, and down, boom, 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 boom. Then get into that neighborhood with the $8 million houses in it. I forget what neighborhood that is. Something with the big stony houses. And there's a, do you guys remember, you don't because you're too young, there used to be mountain biking trails on Aubrey Butte. Before Aubrey Butte became all built up, this was where all the good mountain biking was. And there's only 2 of those trails left now. One's called Sawyer Uplands Trail, and one is called the Briggs Canyon Trail, both of which are super fun if you ever get a chance to ride and or run on them. So from that neighborhood, I can get onto the Sawyer Uplands Trail, which takes this great little and it dumps you out right on the river trail by Sawyer Park. And it's super fun. It's about this wide. It washes off on one side. It's kind of like fun. It's got beautiful outlooks at the east side of town. So I get in there. I've mountain biked it many, many times. Took my mountain bike on it before. So I get in the trail, and I start going down. I see the first switchback, so I cut in. I see it coming. And when you see a switchback, generally speaking, you want to kind of feather the brakes. You don't want to lock up and slide. That's how you ruin trails. So I grabbed the brakes and started, and the bike didn't slow down. It just kept going.
Oh.
And I'm going about 15, 16 miles an hour, and here comes this hairpin. And the hairpin, then, if I miss the hairpin, I go rolling down the hill. So I grab the brakes a little harder. A little harder. The bike starts to slow down, but I'm still going about 14, 13 miles an hour. And finally, I just freak out, and I just grab them. And I'm about 10 feet from the hairpin. I'm like, the hell with this. And I just lay the bike down and run out of it. And what the hell just happened? That was the weirdest thing ever. Now, I haven't used cantilever brakes since I was like 10. So I just assumed they'd be fine. So I went down the rest of the trail, went home. Next day, came back, did the exact same thing, just to see if it was a fluke. So riding down the trail, coming to the hairpin about 15, 16, grab the brakes lightly, the bike doesn't slow down, and I lay it down again. I'm like, what the hell's going on? This is ridiculous. The bike's not stopping. So I started thinking, I'm like, okay, when's the last time I used cantilever brakes? I was 10. It's like my first mountain bike. It was years and years and years ago. What do I use instead of cantilever brakes? Now, nowadays, everything's disc. Everything is disc brakes nowadays. But this bike doesn't have disc brake now. I don't know if you guys would like, you can see, you can't see, there's no disc. This was the last year. Cyclocross for years wouldn't let their riders use disc brakes. Why? Because the UCI is a pain in my ass is why. I don't know why they won't let them. They had this thing again, no, Cyclocross, no, we'll not use disc brakes. Different friends. I don't know what the hell's wrong with them. They wouldn't let them use disc brakes. It's muddy, it's disgusting, it's perfect for disc brakes, and they wouldn't let them use it. So anyway, this is 2012 bike, wouldn't let me use it. So I did some research, because I'm me, and I started realizing that as I'm doing the research, other people were having this problem too, when they were riding these bikes down big steep drops and steep trails. Flat trails not a problem, because you're not going super fast, but when you start doing these drops, and I started seeing V-brakes, 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 and I'm like, oh yeah, V-brakes, V-brakes. Now, when you look at this image, that looks like a V.
Mm-hmm.
That's U. That's called a U brake, a cantilever brake. That's a V brake. The one that looks like a U is a V. I can't understand this. I just call them what they call them.
Who did this?
These are called, more technically, these are called linear pull.
Uh-huh.
Now these are what I used to use back in the late 80s, early 90s, because these are the bomb on rim. If you had to use rim brakes, these are the best ones. Here's how they work. You grab the lever. This pulls this way, directly comes in. None of this pull, pivot. It's a direct pivot, boom, from the pull.
Okay, so I have a question.
Yes.
I'm not.
And you don't have to be, but go ahead.
But I have a question. So when you're saying this, it sounds like it's braking the same way. Okay, when I had a bike as a kid,
You grab the brakes.
it was, and you were, if you got into, are those the V brakes or the cantilever brakes?
I have to see your bike. I'm going to guess it's
okay.
cantilever.
Really? Okay.
But I don't know. I'd have to
Yeah.
see the bike you had. They both do work the same way. You pull the lever, the brake goes in. Even disc brakes work the same way. You pull the lever, the little brake pads go like this.
But there's more stretch on the cantilevers.
There's more stretch, which is why I thought maybe if I could retrofit V-brakes onto my cross bike, maybe I'd get less stretch, better braking. Does that make sense?
I thought you could.
Well, I had to do some shimmying and shaking because the levers I had on my bike can't.
Oh yeah, you
without
gotta
getting
change
too much
it
into
all.
the engineering, you can't just do a 1-for-1 swap. You have to just. But I decided to try. I said I'm gonna try. So I did a little test. Not that one. That's the next experiment. that's about acetaminophen during pregnancy. That's not about the brakes. So here's my house right here. Right across the street from my house, my neighbor Eric's house. He's got a nice little steep driveway. So what I did was, I did a controlled test. I had Max help me. We put a tape measure. Right, starting 0 at the curb, stretching all the way across the road. And what I did was, I started my bike, wherever that car is, I started my bike there, and I just let the brakes go from a track stand. Let the brakes go and coast downhill. So no acceleration, because I couldn't measure acceleration. Well, just acceleration due to gravity. As soon as I crossed the curb, I started applying even braking pressure. Now this is going to sound magical, even braking pressure. I've been biking for 30 years. I know how to brake safely. I know how to brake safely. So even braking pressure, and then I had Max stop and mark. I said, Max, look where the hub is. Follow the hub out and mark on the tape. So he did a pretty good job. A little bit off, but I was keeping the numbers behind him. Here's the data I collected. I did it two separate days with exactly the same atmospheric conditions, same sun, same humidity, same tires. All I did was I swapped out the brakes, which took like 4 hours to redo the entire braking system and test them. But what the hell? It's worth it. It's worth it for science. It's worth it for science. I was like, no, it's not. And it's okay, you don't have to, because I did it for you. Here's my results. Here, these are all in feet. Braking distances in feet. Cantilever braking distances. Linear full braking distances. Okay? How do we feel about V-brakes versus cantilevers? You feel like I made the right choice putting them in? Yeah, I think so. Now, here's the question, and we're going to take a break here. I want you to think about this. How much better are they? They appear to be better. First of all, are they better? Number one. In other words, they look better, because they're all under 20 and those are all 20 or over, roughly. They look better. Is it statistically significant? If it is statistically significant, how much better is it? See what I'm getting at, friends?
Yep.
Think about that while you wander off for your break, okay? Yes.
40%.
100%?
40.
40%. Okay. Talk to me. Derek. Oh, yes.
Yes.